my lovelies, how's it going? Yes, I am wearing the same outfit as last week. I am recording 2 videos in one day because I'm some kind of crazy person. So you might think that since I spent 2 whole years illustrating these 2 children's books, that I'd be pretty confident at drawing cartoons by now. Nope. And I don't know if that will ever change, but I figured perhaps getting a little bit more practice couldn't do any harm. So I ordered this. How to draw Disney animals. Because have you ever seen a Disney animator drawing? Just have a quick search on YouTube, after you've watched this of course. But wow, the speed that they work, the precision, the expression and the movement that they capture, because they don't just do a one-off drawing like I do with illustration. They draw them over and over again and actually bring them to life. And that honestly just blows my mind. So this week I've been working through this book and I'm gonna see if I can take what I learn from it and convert one of my old wildlife drawings into a Disney style drawing. So grab yourself a cuppa and let's get drawing. So here's the book, guys. On first inspection, it's actually really nice quality and the pages are quite thick and glossy, beautiful quality prints. So the book starts off, you've got your contents page, which tells you the page numbers of all the characters. So if you're thinking of getting the book, these are the characters that are included. It gives you a quick guide to getting started. Then there are 4 pages for each character, starting with very simple line work and shapes, and showing you how to add the next lot of details. And there's a coloured in version as well so that you know what colours to use. So I think that I'm going to start with Bambi because it's one of the classics. It's just truly beautiful artwork. Ken HULTGREN actually worked on Bambi, and I actually worked through his book The Art of Animal Drawing in a previous video, which is more like realistic drawing of animals. So check that video out if you're thinking of learning to draw more realistic animals. Today it's more about the cartoony versions. I've even got a Barbie water bottle. Did I say Barbie? I mean Bambi. Oh my gosh. This cold is just throwing me completely out of whack. So here they are. I did 6 drawings. I'm gonna count that as 2 drawings. And believe it or not, that was actually 2.5 hours of drawing. But anyway, once I'd got a few hours of practice in, I felt fully equipped and confident to start drawing my own Disney style animals like a pro. Okay, no I didn't, but it'll have to do. So I decided to recreate this drawing that I did a few years ago of some cute little field mice. I felt like these guys already had quite a bit of movement and expression, so I could maybe exaggerate that into a cartoon form. I decided to start off on the tablet so that I could work out my composition, and I actually put, hang on, I'll odge up and I can show you just here. So I actually put the original drawing on a layer underneath so that I could get the layout about the same. But I kind of wanted to make the wheat a little bit more expressive as well. But as I was drawing the stems, I noticed that there's actually an extra stem. Like why did I draw that extra stem? I have no idea. And that's totally something that AI does. Am I AI? But yeah. I decided to leave the pointless stem out of the equation this time. I tried to sort of really look at the mice and figure out who is this mouse? So the top one is happily munching away, looking kind of plump. So I gave him kind of, is it Gus from Cinderella? Hang on, it'll tell me in the book. Gus and Jacques. Is it Jack or Jacques? I'm gonna be honest, I haven't watched Cinderella that much, guys. So I tried to give that top mouse kind of Gus vibes. The middle mouse kind of looks concerned about the well-being of the bottom mouse. And that kind of reminded me of the rescuers. I can't remember her name either. And then the bottom mouse kind of looks like he's kind of frantically clinging on for dear life. I guess I gave him more of a kind of Jacques appearance because he's got those kind of long, straggly limbs. I feel like these guys are going to need names. You'll have to let me know what you think these three should be called. This is the final sketch. It is still quite rough. I actually drew it out this morning before the school run, so I ran out of time to make it to tidy it up. Now, what materials am I going to draw this in? Back in the 1940s, when they made all of the original cartoons like Bambi, they would actually draw the characters on nitrate cells, which basically looked like clear plastic sheets. And then the background would be watercolour on paper. So that means that they could get the characters to move around on the background without having to redraw the background again and again. Now, I don't have nitrate cells, but then I was thinking about what I do have already from a previous video, shrink plastic. Now, I haven't actually tried it, but I reckon that this stuff might just do the trick. So if I draw the characters on the shrink plastic sheet and then watercolour the background, it might work. So I'm going to trace from my tablet onto this. I think they would have traditionally used black ink on a paintbrush to do the line work, but I don't have ink and I also don't possess the skills to draw fine line work with a paintbrush. That's maybe something I need to work on, but let's save that for another video. I'm just going to use an ink pen, then acrylic paints for the colouring, watercolours for the background. Let's do this. Before I start drawing, I decided to try and propagate one of my houseplants. It's a weeping fig, and I actually tried doing this last year as well, and it actually worked. So I thought that I could try that again and keep it in the art shed, and I can show you each week how it's going. For anyone who doesn't know what propagating is, it's basically you chop off some branches off your houseplant or outdoor plant, you stick them in water, and after a few weeks, the stems amazingly grow roots out the bottom, and then you can pop them in soil and you get a whole new plant. I actually only learned that you could do that last year. And they make quite a nice little thoughtful gift to burden your friends and family with. I was thinking of actually using it as kind of a prop, but I don't know if it'll just be really annoying. I've seen someone else doing that with their plant and it looked really nice. Let me know what you think. Is this nice or annoying? Or do you not even care because you came here to watch about art stuff, not plants? I just seen one of those little flies going for my plant. You little... That is the one thing with these guys. Wasn't this one a bargain though? £3. Right, I need my tablet. I have flipped the image because that was a mistake that I made when I made the shrink plastic keychains. It's always actually helpful to flip your image because you instantly notice if there's anything wrong with it. So I've just got the finest calligraphy pen here. Yeah, that's going to be annoying, isn't it? Maybe I should put it on the other side because I'm right-handed. Okay, let's see how this pen reacts on this. It might bleed, it might not. Let's see. I'm going to go down a bit. Great angle. Can you see my roots? I am going grey. The calligraphy pen actually did quite well on this shrink plastic. If you look very closely, you can see it does slightly bleed into the grain of the shrink plastic. So I think I might do, before I start adding colour to these guys, I might just use a white gel pen to give them some highlights, because you kind of need to do all that first, which is going to kind of hurt my brain because I usually do that last. Okay, so I am all done with this. I think the materials that I used today did okay. The pen hasn't smudged too badly, just in a few places where I was perhaps a bit clumsy with the paint. I probably could have done with a finer paintbrush. I was struggling with some of the finer details. But I don't think it's bad for a first attempt. I'd definitely do it again. I think it's safe to say that it has worked using the shrink plastic. And I'm quite happy with the little characters as well. I feel like this might be a cute little story actually, like they're on a little adventure. So let me know if you've got any names for these guys. I did find that this book really helped me wrap my head around the basic forms of the characters, but I could definitely do with continuing to practice. I think that it would make a lovely gift for someone who is arty, if they enjoy drawing cartoons or animals, or if they just love all things Disney. So I shall put a link to it in the description, as well as any materials that I've used today, if you would like to give this a go. And if you do, you can actually send your drawings to my email address, which I shall link below as well. I always love to see your creations as well. If you've enjoyed today's video, don't forget to hit that like, share or subscribe. They do go a really long way for us smaller creators and are very much appreciated. So thanks for watching, my lovelies. I shall see you next Friday. Oh.